My brother has two sides to him. One is a loving, caring young man with a heart of gold. The other is a manipulative, self-centered, downright evil person who has the potential to be a danger to himself and others around him.
In this 10-minute documentary, I will show you not only what it's like to live with a mental illness, but what it's like to live with someone with a mental illness. This is Living with Two Brothers.
Wow, that is so cool. Get up to my room. Get up to my room!
My brother was born on the 12th of July 2002. He had a problem-free birth and a relatively normal early years. We were a young family. I was turning 5 and my mother and father were both 31. My parents though, Andrea and Toby, knew my brother and I were different growing up.
Wow, that is so cool.
My father noticed signs of Hugh being different very early on.
So tell me, what made you suspicious about Hugh's mental condition?
He started to sort of have, you know, odd behaviours in both the house and in early school, in preschool, etc. Hiding under chairs, not wanting to socialise, not wanting to play with other children, take part in games, etc. He, you know, just exhibited some odd behaviours really. So yeah, we started you know, round about probably 3 or 4 sort of concerns with him really, some around that.
My mother though noticed signs almost from the get-go.
I knew right from the beginning, right from about a year old, I noticed he was different, his overall behaviour was different. Having working with children for 14 years, in schools I could see the difference. Especially when he started my school in primary school, I noticed this odd behaviour, put a strain on my job.
Most days is like walking on eggshells with him. You never know what side of Hugh is going to wake up. Sometimes he can be lovely. The other side of him sounds something like this. This footage is purely observational, meaning the footage might be dark or the audio isn't pristine.
I am trying, Mum. It's just I can't remember, and I forget, and I go blank.
To add some context, my brother was supposedly revising for his Welsh oral exam the next day, and even the most basic of tasks ends in screaming, and what is too often in our house is tears.
Right, now put that down. Put it down now, look at me and say it again. Don't look at it. You would. Don't look at it. Come here.
This is a minute percentage of what my family is like. The great laughs and the turmoil all under one roof.
On a daily basis, what is it like living with someone with such a severe mental condition?
On a daily basis, it varies. We have our good days, we have our bad days. At the moment, as he was getting older, the bad days are outweighing the good ones. It is like walking on eggshells. You gotta spit your words out and look at them before you say anything.
Can you do the dishwasher, please, sir?
Yes.
No, it means now, but...
Yes, Reese, you're not the boss.
We can't hold a basic conversation without there being some sort of row involved. My parents have been on the brink of divorce because we cannot keep on going on like this. Nowadays, my family lives from one row to the next. When we sit down and have a conversation or when we play a board game, my brother has to take the reins. If it's not on Hugh's terms, then he refuses to play and makes it a very stressful experience for us all.
Does Hugh have two sides to him? If so, could you tell me what they are?
Yeah, he definitely has two sides to him, you know. He's he can be lovely, he can he's happy and, you know, enjoys certain small company from you know, trusted people and family and friends. You know, he's quite humorous. He's got a really good sense of humour. And, you know, right the way through then to being totally in such a rage that you can't control him, you can't speak to him, you can't reason with him. You know, and the anger that you can see in his face and stuff, you know, it's just sometimes he doesn't even look like him.
In his ways, he was much like boys his age, prone to mood swings, back chats, etc. But with him, the general traits of a 14-year-old boy is heightened greatly. Everything you'd expect from a teenager is now a lot more extreme.
The strain on the family is absolutely massive. I think the older I'm getting, I'm finding it harder to cope. Having a younger little girl in the house who came to us 4 years ago, as I would naturally put a strain on the family, but with who being who, the strain on the family is immense. And on a daily basis, when you've got to deal with that, the temper tantrums, the nasty way that he speaks, the swearing now, the aggression, the physical abuse, the emotional and mental abuse that the rest of the family have on a daily basis is a struggle.
This is the part of the documentary where I should be interviewing Hugh, but due to him being extremely camera shy, he refused and stormed out of the room. I managed to get this footage of him storming out, but not much else. So as you can see, it is certainly a tough time to live with my brother. With all of the temper tantrums and anger outbursts, it can be a very hostile environment to be a part of. Since 2013, my brother has been diagnosed with severe Asperger's. Since then, we have also been suspicious of other illnesses like bipolar and ADHD.
Are you suspicious about any other mental conditions like bipolar or ADHD?
Yeah, you know, the diagnosis of autism is, you can't have a blood test for it. It's observed behaviour and behaviour that is relayed to the treating doctor or consultant by the parents in terms of, you know, patterns of behaviour, etc. So there are often times where I think, no, he's not autistic, he's just a, you know, difficult child. And at other times I think, my God, he is totally so sort of, you know, autistic. I think there's more for us to do with it, for sure. You know, the older he gets now, I'm sure that he's got far more anger issues than we ever thought he had before. So there's something we need to look at there. I'm not up on all of the acronyms and stuff, you know, with ADHD and ADD and stuff, and so I don't know if any one of those would work, but certainly he's got some deep sort of anger problems.
I haven't got any concerns with ADHD, because that's attention deficit disorder, where he wouldn't be able to control himself in school, where we've had many parents' evenings to say that he can control his behaviour in school. I do, however, have my suspicions there could be elements of bipolar, but they're unwilling to diagnose this until he's past the age of 16, because bipolar doesn't show its true symptoms then until that age, until he's passing through puberty. Because the reasons why I say is because if they was on a scale of 1 to 10, who was either a 9 or a 10, or a 1 or a 2. He's never a 5, 6 or a 7. And that's why I think that there is elements of bipolar there, because it's extreme highs and extreme lows.
So as you can see, my brother is certainly a hard person to live with, but I wouldn't change him for the world. He's my brother, and his illness makes him my brother. If he didn't have his illness, he wouldn't be my brother. There is definitely two sides to him. When he is on a good day, he is a truly joy to be around. I hope this documentary shows what it's like to live with someone with a mental illness, and I hope it has brought some light to the illness. Thank you.